say that they will continue to try and establish the facts around the case.
From bureaus worldwide, this is F.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Wednesday, the first day of October for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to get your day started the right way. All of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. A lot of football talk today. Talk about the Nebraska football game with Michigan State coming up on Saturday at Memorial Stadium. Got comments coming up this morning from Husker offensive coordinator Dave Holgerson and defensive coordinator John Butler. So that's coming up for you this morning. The Hastings College football team getting ready to play at number 22 Northwestern on Saturday. We'll take a peek at that ball game coming up. Some high school softball played in the area last night, some high school volleyball, and the first day of the postseason got underway for Major League Baseball yesterday with the first games of the Wild Card Series. So we'll check out the winners from yesterday and get you set for day number 2 today. We've got our Survivor picks. Tyson and I still hanging in there as we head to week 5 of Survivor. We're going to give you our picks for this week coming up sometime during this hour, and a lot of other things to talk about here this morning. So, again, good morning and welcome to a Wednesday as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
And a good morning. I guess unless you're a member of Congress or the Senate that went ahead and shut down the government at 12:01 this morning. So, government shutdown. What else is new? Welcome to 2025. That's our top story in the news. We'll try to dive in and get you as much deets as we can and what's behind all the politics going on in D.C. And we'll also talk about being safer on the roads. A very urgent and stern warning from the Clay County Sheriff's Department, a zero-tolerance policy moving forward on traffic violations due to all of the heartbreak in the Adams and Clay counties, the surrounding areas, all the fatality accidents that have happened over the course of the last 2 weeks. Done dealing, and being safer on the roads, being better drivers is the crackdown enforcement there. So a lot's going on in the news side of things as well. Yeah, you mentioned baseball playoffs getting underway. Man, some great pitchers duels that we saw yesterday. Some explosive performances. Shohei Ohtani in the postseason, in the bright lights, continues to prove why he is a phenom in baseball. But maybe the biggest story wasn't even playoffs related. It was a team that's not in the playoffs, a team that has been crying and yearning for change over the course of the last 4 years. Ain't gonna get it. The new front office comes in and says, we're going to honor this man's contract. Maybe we're going to give him some pieces to play with. Ollie Marmol is still going to coach the Cardinals in 2026. I've never seen a man with the worst percentage of getting it right continue to be employed, gainfully employed. I don't care if it's flipping burgers at McDonald's or if it's selling clothes at JCPenney. You can't get it wrong that many times and still have a job, but yet this man still has a job as we enter the 2026 season. So Cardinals fans, hop aboard. Let's go ride the misery train one more time, shall we? It's been fun.
I saw that come out yesterday. Wow. Tyson's been on his horse, his high horse for the past 2 or 3 months to get rid of this guy. What happens? Their new president of base operations, Chaim Bloom, comes in. Yep. He has a couple of words about the Cardinals organization, and he says, we're going to retain the manager for another year. I thought, no. It took you exactly 2.5 minutes to get in that little rant on this show. I said, "Oh, we might as well just start off there."
We probably should have. But yeah, and it's the time that you think it's going to happen. New front office, new changes, new everything, right? That's what happens when front offices get changed. A lot of times, even successful managers, they'll part ways with because it's not right for not the right fit for their vision or their organization. So, whatever. I guess if our vision is mediocre baseball, if that's our vision, but he did say like he's going to spend. We're going to be competitive. He wants to win championships again. So that's optimistic because I think even a blind squirrel, if you have a good enough roster, a.k.a. Aaron Boone with the New York Yankees, can find a way to sneak into the postseason. So
78 and 84 for the Cardinals
thanks
this
for the
year.
reminder. Yep.
Fourth in the National League Central. Missing the playoffs for the third consecutive season. Mm-hmm. But yet you're going to keep your manager aboard for 2026. So, yeah, that was on top of my list of things to talk about today. One other thing, the Big 12 Conference has fined Colorado $50,000 and publicly reprimanded the school after a derogatory chant from Buffalo's fans targeted the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints during Saturday's football game against BYU. The chants of F the Mormons were heard from the student section during BYU's 24-21 victory over the Buffaloes.
That's par for the course for Colorado fans.
That's what I was going to say. That's par for Colorado fans, but they're going to be fined $50,000 a public reprimand for their chants of F the Mormons during their game against BYU on Saturday. That's neat.
Well done.
UCLA has fired their offensive coordinator, Tino Sinceri. He's in his first season as the offensive coordinator after coming over from Indiana. He oversaw a unit that is averaging just 14.3 points per game. Tight ends coach Gene Neuheisel, a former Bruins quarterback, the son of former UCLA head coach Rick Neuheisel, will take over offensive play call duties. UCLA will host number 7 Penn State on Saturday. He's the second coordinator to exit the program since the team fired head coach Deshaun Foster. The defensive coordinator also left the team. So UCLA making some changes. They fired their head coach, and now both of the coordinators are gone. We have to play UCLA coming up. Yeah, we play UCLA up on November 8th out in Los Angeles. So UCLA definitely making some changes. They're kind of in turmoil out there. Their head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator all gone. And then Bobby Petrino.
UCLA's home.
He's taken over at Arkansas. He has fired 3 defensive assistants as the interim head coach. Comes in and gives the axe to their defensive coordinator, Travis Williams, defensive line coach, Deke Adams, defensive assistant, Marcus Woodson. They're all gone as interim head coach. Bobby Petrino takes over at Arkansas after Sam Pittman was fired on Sunday following 5+ seasons as the Arkansas head coach. So you got the interim coach and Bobby Petrino. He comes in and immediately fires 3 defensive coaches right off the bat. So
there you go.
That's what's going on in the coaching ranks. Yeah, Petrino comes in. They don't know if he's going to be the permanent head coach. He's the interim head coach for the rest of the season. He comes in and fires 3 coaches right off the bat.
I think that's telling you that there's probably an indication that he's going to get the reins for it. if they give him the power to go ahead and get rid of the coaching staff as the interim head coach, which is not typically a responsibility that you get to take part in.
Yeah, I would think that he would be one of the leading guests, although there are some other names being dropped for that job yesterday when I was going through a bunch of stuff. I think the coach at Texas San Antonio, I have no idea who he is, but I read the story. He's being mentioned as maybe a candidate for the Arkansas job. You know who else?
I'm curious.
Prime time.
No, that makes zero sense.
I know, but
That
sometimes
makes zero
things don't
sense.
Sometimes things don't make a lot of sense.
No.
But Arkansas is not going to come up with the money to hire Deion Sanders away from Colorado.
I think you were reading an article from the Union or something, because that's pretty far-fetched.
I don't know where I was reading it from. I was doing a lot of reading yesterday, catching up on some stuff. Let's see what else is going on. We got Husker football this week. We're going to hear from both coordinators coming up, Dana Holgerson and also John Butler, the offensive and defensive coordinators for the Huskers. Didn't say a whole lot, but we'll tell you what they said coming up here before we get out of here at 8 o'clock this morning. We've got Survivor picks coming up for week number 5 of the season. I sat down. That was number one on my priority list last night. I'd immediately put 5 games on my possible slate for Survivor this week. You and I are among the 17 people still alive for a Survivor this week. Some of the games that you might want to look at this week, you don't have to have your Survivor pick in until tomorrow at 6. But you and I will unveil our picks coming up during the show today. New England is playing at Buffalo. Buffalo is 7.5-point favorites. A lot of people have already used Buffalo, including me, so that is not an option. Detroit is playing at Cincinnati this week. Detroit is a 10-point favorite, but I have already used the Lions as well. So immediately had to cross those 2 games off my potential list. The other games that I was looking at this week, Tennessee playing in Arizona.
Okay.
Arizona 7.5-point favorite. Las Vegas playing at Indianapolis. Indy playing well, although they lost last week to the Rams. Indy 6.5-point favorite over the Raiders. And San Francisco playing at the Los Angeles Rams. 6.5-point favorite for the Rams, although Brock Purdy may or may not play again in that game against the Rams because of a bad toe. So those are some of the games I was looking at my Survivor pick this week. What about you?
I'm right there with you. Obviously first you look at the Buffalo Bills, and they're a 4-0 football team, 7.5-point favorite over New England, but I used Buffalo last week, so they own. Then we look at the Philadelphia Eagles, 3.5-point favorite against the Denver Broncos. Eagles undefeated on the season. But as we take a look at the Tyson standings, Eagles open, 3.5-point favorites. They've been kind of sneaking by with some of their games, in some of the victories. But Philly was one that I circled. The Rams, obviously, one that I circled. The 49ers just way too banged up. Detroit, as you mentioned, 10.5-point favorites. And then I kind of took a peek at the Minnesota Vikings as well. They're taking on the Cleveland Browns.
Everybody kind of goes to who's playing the Browns this week.
But albeit it's a London matchup. It's a 8:30 in the morning start. So sometimes weird things happen in the 8:30 time slot.
Yes, they do.
Kind of similar to Thursday Night Football. So
yeah, usually you open up the docket and who's playing the Browns and who's playing the Saints.
Right.
But a lot of times you've already used those teams. Like me, I've taken Buffalo and I've taken Detroit, so I can't use either one of those teams this week. So anyway, I got my pick. I've done some research. I've got my pick. We'll get to those at about 7:30 here this morning. So.
I'm going to zero in between the Eagles, the Rams, and the Lions.
You don't have your pick yet?
Oh, I've got it. I'm just giving you a little cliffhanger. That's who I narrowed it down to after my 5 soul-searching plays. I narrowed it down to Eagles, Rams, Lions.
I had a pick yesterday, earlier in the day, and then last night I started to do a little research because I'm a kind of a research stats guy.
Guru.
So I did a little research last night, and I got off of the team that I originally was going to take this week. I didn't like a couple of things I stumbled across, so I got off of the team that I originally was going to be on. So I found a new team for my Survivor pick. So we're among 17 people still left in Survivor. Hopefully you're one of them. Grab the grand prize coming up whenever we get down to the one lone survivor. Get a brand new 55-inch TV donated by Mid-America Truck Sales of Hastings. You get a flat-top grill to help you out with some of your tailgate parties this fall. You get the gift card from Boletta Vista Winery up in St. Paul. We're going to treat you to dinner and a few drinks out at Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill of Hastings. You got the oil change thrown in from Connet Auto Care of Hastings. And the 60-minute head spa experience with KK and the crew down at Bamboo Mind and Body Spa of Hastings. So that all goes to the grand prize winner of Survivor this year. What's going on here? Reading some of the early comments coming in.
Comment section.
Ryan Martin says, across the pond games should be played on Thursdays. God, how would that work? You'd have to give those teams the preceding weekend off. But that wouldn't be bad if you could make the schedule work. The teams that would play on Thursday across the pond would have the previous week off to get ready to play across the pond on a Thursday. Then they would have that extra time to get ready for the next week. I could see that working. Initially, I went, oh, no, that's not going to work, Ryan Martin. But if they would give the teams the preceding week off, I could see maybe that working.
Or, here's a thought. We could just keep football here on this side of the pond. And if England wants football so damn bad, they can create their own league. Premier League doesn't come across the pond and come play Chelsea and Man United. No, we have Major League Soccer for that. Like, thanks, we'll do our own thing. England could do that rather than try to globalize the game. It's global. I don't know how many more billions of fans that you need, billions of dollars of revenue that you need to keep coming in to this sport. We could stop sending our product overseas and have it here. That's a thought.
Well, you're seeing that with games being played all over the place. And now we got the Super Bowl entertainment that's drawing a little criticism over here.
Okay.
Are you going someplace with this?
No, I was just going to say that there is a very, very tiny percentage of the population that's actually upset about Bad Bunny performing a halftime show. A very tiny percentage of the population that I've seen on social media.
Because we're not there yet.
But it's because that it's not your cup of tea. and
it certainly isn't.
Right. I get it, right? Like, your knee-jerk reaction to a Latino superstar is not going to be one of, oh, yeah, I listen to him all the time. Like, it's not, right? But at the same time, you don't need to go and say, well, that's crap. That's going to be shit halftime show. Like, it's still entertaining. And the knee-jerk reaction is because it's not The Who or Bruce Springsteen. Our natural knee-jerk reaction is to go, well, that's going to be crap.
Will I watch it?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're not after my...
the NFL doesn't care about you. They've already got you, right? Yeah. Like, you're not going anywhere. You're going to continue to be a football fan, whether they put T. Swift, Carly Rae Jepsen, or the Backstreet Boys out on the halftime show.
Oh, all three of those will be a lot better.
Okay.
All three of those people you just mentioned.
Yeah, we're done.
So,
next topic.
That's the halftime show. What? Are you looking forward to this? Bugs Bunny, or what's his name?
Hell yeah.
Bugs Bunny.
Hell yeah. I like good entertainment, man.
I'll give him a chance. You know what? I'm going to get a beer or another scoop of dip for my chips. It'll be on. I'm not going to shut the TV off during the halftime show. I'm not going to shut it off. So naturally, He's going to be on. So, yeah, I'll give him a chance. Hell, who knows? I might become a fan of his.
Good for you. I'm excited.
All right, 7:20. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Again, if you'd like to chime in with us, the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line is open. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. If you'd like to chime in, something about we've talked about this morning or something on your mind, sports related or not, give us a buzz or drop us a message on our social media sites. We're monitoring those comments as well as we get up and get going here this morning. So we kind of touched on Major League Baseball a little bit, the opening games, the wild card series. Any surprises yesterday? Detroit got by Cleveland 2-1. Boston beat the Yankees 3-1 in the American League. The National League Wild Card Series, Game 1s. Chicago, the Cubbies, over San Diego 3-1. And the Dodgers, as expected, took care of Cincinnati 10-5. The best of three series will continue today with Game 2s. Anything really stand out in the first four games?
Just the way Crochet pitched for Boston. I mean, that was kind of the big question mark. Boston certainly went into that matchup as an underdog against the New York Yankees, but it's Red Sox-Yankees baseball. I thought the atmosphere was friggin' electric. For two teams that I don't normally watch an entire game of, because throughout the course of the season, my attention diverts to the most exciting action that's going on at any given time in a baseball matchup. So for two teams that I don't normally spend a whole lot of time locked in all 9 innings, like, that atmosphere brought it. Postseason, Yankees, Sox, what else do you need? I mean, it's going to be cinema. And as expected, one little tiny loss. Obviously, the urgency is at an emphasis when it's a 3-game series. I get that. But to have the New York media immediately come out and say, all is doomed, the sky is falling, fire Boone, 3-1 loss in a pitcher's duel. Oh, man, I love good pitching and defense. And last night we saw it, baby. Yankees, Red Sox, pure cinema. They're going to fire it up again at 5 o'clock right after work today. So a good opportunity to catch that series. Cubs took care of business as expected. Got a great pitching duel in the Cleveland and Detroit matchup. Skubal continues to show why he's just one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. And yeah, Dodgers, Shohei flexed. So big surprise, I think, kind of came in the Boston-New York series. Other than that, chalk, baby.
All right, so Game 2, the best of three series, going to be held today in all four series. That's what's going on in Major League Baseball. It's 7:24 as you wake up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. You're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We start in Congress, where both Republican and Democratic proposals that would have funded the government passed, today, failed in the Senate during the 11th hour, effectively shutting down the government at 12:01 on Wednesday. get my screen to come back up. The House's stopgap funding measure failed to pass the Senate because Democrats would not back it without health care provisions. Governor Jim Pillen signing a statement yesterday urging Congress to act, saying, quote, obstructionist liberals in Congress can't keep playing politics with our nation's funding. I'm proud to join Republican governors from across the nation to support President Trump and congressional leaders calling on Democrats to fulfill their duties and do what's best for the country. Keep the government open with a clean, short-term funding extension. It's critical to the security and stability of our nation to get this done, end quote. Now, both groups warn that a shutdown would disrupt state services, threaten public safety, and hurt public confidence in government, but the Senate expected to vote again today, likely on the same two measures that failed just 24 hours ago. So being hung up by health care provisions. Meanwhile, in Clay County, in response to 2 fatal crashes in 2 weeks on heavily traveled county roads, the Clay County Sheriff's Office is launching an expanded enforcement initiative for the rest of harvest season. The mission, simple, keep people alive. Starting immediately, deputies will increase patrols on rural roads, especially farm to market routes, and intersections known for past crashes. They'll be enforcing all traffic laws with zero tolerance, no warnings for stop sign violations, spending near equipment, or unsafe passing maneuvers. Motorists and farm equipment operators share the roads, but that means each party must act responsibly and urge each driver to come to a complete stop at every stop sign, slow down early when approaching equipment, never pass near intersections, curves, hills, or railroad crossings, giving wide turning room for farm equipment, especially cautious on uncontrolled intersections, and stay off distractions, driving sober and wearing seatbelts. The rules not optional. Lives depend on them. Deputies conducting high visibility enforcement, and again, a zero tolerance policy for making mistakes on the road. 7:26. With that, we'll swing things back over your way, Mike. What's going down in sports?
Well, the Nebraska football team getting ready to play Michigan State on Saturday at Memorial Stadium. Huskers are 3-1 in the season after dropping their last game to Michigan, 30-27 on September 20th. Nebraska remains among the nation's top teams, both in throwing the football and defending the pass. The Huskers ranked second nationally in both passing offense at 351.8 yards per game, and in completion percentage at 77.6%. Defensively, Nebraska is limiting opponents to a nation-leading 75.8 passing yards per game and just a 50.6% completion percentage. Saturday's game will get underway at 3. You'll be able to see it on FS1. Hastings College football team will play at number 22 Northwestern on Saturday. The Red Raiders are 2-2 in the season, with wins over Waldorf and Dakota Wesleyan. Northwestern has lost to Mount Marty and to Dort. The Red Raiders average 322 yards of total offense per game, including 172 yards through the air. Kickoff will be at 1:30. We'll have the game on Extreme Sports, beginning with Pigskin Preview at 12:30. High school softball from yesterday. Hastings High beat Kearney 11-8. The Tigers are now 20-7. They'll play host to Waverly on Thursday. Adams Central defeated McCook 6-4. The Patriots now 9-16. They'll play in the Central Conference Tournament on Thursday. In volleyball from yesterday, Waverly beat Hastings High in 3 games. Adams Central lost to Northwest in 5 games. And St. Cecilia, they went 3-0 in their own St. Cecilia tournament. Postseason got underway yesterday in Major League Baseball. In the opening games of the American League Wild Card Series, Detroit got by Cleveland 2-1, and Boston defeated the New York Yankees 3-1. In the National League, Chicago edged the San Diego Padres 3-1, and the Dodgers beat the Reds 10-5. The best of 3 series will continue today. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:29 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones. There's a few showers and thunderstorms moving through the area this morning on Wednesday. No severe weather is expected. Other than that, though, we should clear out and become sunny to mostly sunny by late morning to afternoon, a high of 82 degrees, and southerly winds 10 to 15, gusting to 20 miles per hour. 59 is overnight low tonight with mostly clear skies. Thursday, plenty of sunshine, a high in the mid-80s. Friday, upper 80s with plenty of sunshine. Then we become breezy by the weekend and changes on the way.
As you wake up, get going here this morning, we do have some isolated thunderstorms in the area. Around the Hastings area, though, just cloudy skies, south winds at 8 miles per hour. It's 60 degrees in Hastings at extreme.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson and Bronick with you. You're listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Wednesday. Again, later on this week, Friday night, we'll have high school football for you. Adams Central going to be playing Aurora here on Extreme Sports. 7 o'clock for the kickoff, 6:45 for the pregame show. Over on Extreme Sports 2 on Friday night, you get the Battle of Clay County. Should be a good one between the Sutton Mustangs and the Sandy Creek Cougars. We'll have the game on Extreme Sports 2, beginning with a pregame show at 6:45. And then on Saturday, college football for you will be in Orange City, Iowa, as Hastings will play the 22nd-ranked Red Raiders. It'll be a 1:30 kickoff time this week, a little bit later than normal, 12:30 for the pregame show, Pigskin Preview with Hastings College football on Saturday. So it's homecoming. It's homecoming over at Northwestern this week. So the volleyball team will play there on Friday night. They've got Hastings College football scheduled on Saturday.
We have, for the first time, we get to rarely do this on the show because most of the breaking news happens about 5 minutes after we get off the air. Breaking news coming in from Adam Schefter from ESPN. He has reported a quarterback change in Cleveland. Joe Flacco out Dylan Gabriel in.
Does that move, who to number 2? Or is he going to stay at number 3?
No. Joe Flacco, 2.
All right, so
Joe Flacco,
quarterback
2.
change at Cleveland. Isn't that the game across the pond? Aren't they playing Minnesota?
Yes.
Now, see, that might have some bearing on my pick I'm about to release.
Joe Flacco did not make it to the bye week. He did not make it to London. Kevin Stefanski making the much-talked-about quarterback change this morning. Whether Flacco serves as the number 2 quarterback ahead of Shedeur Sanders remains to be seen. So it is, I guess, not officially announced yet, but all indications are just a QB1 and QB2 swap.
Oh, is that the beginning of the end of the Joe Flacco?
If you can't make it in Cleveland.
That's what I mean. Is that the beginning of the end of the Joe Flacco?
He is 47 years old.
This could be it.
It's not accurate, but he's been in the league a long time.
Yeah, I don't know if
services
he's 47.
or starters are probably no longer needed.
All right, so now that could change my pick.
You can't change your pick.
Well, I haven't released it yet.
You haven't locked it in?
I haven't locked it in yet.
Oh, see, I just locked in mine during the break.
See, that news there, God, I can't do that, can I? Just on one position change?
Look what it did to the Giants against the Chargers. Jackson Dart comes in, the Giants go beat the Chargers. As predicted by me on the show. You're welcome.
God, do I change my pick or don't I?
Didn't you already change it?
I've changed it from what I had yesterday afternoon.
You going to change it back?
No. I changed it last night to a different team, and now with that breaking news at Cleveland, I haven't used Minnesota yet, my survivor pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go Minnesota over Cleveland.
Good.
Across the pond.
Have to wake up early and watch it.
I would, and I don't usually watch those early games.
Same.
I get my annual pregame shows on, and they kind of tell me what's going on, but I usually don't wake up and get into football mode at 8:30 in the morning on Sunday.
Well, I'll go ahead and lead off while you stew.
Let me stew, because I might come back and take Minnesota over Cleveland.
There you go. Okay, as mentioned, of the 3 games, right? L.A. going up against San Francisco, primetime showdown. I like the Rams this week to win. I like the Vikings this week to win against Cleveland, but I don't like the fact that it is sitting in that early morning window where weird things happen, and now you got a quarterback change on top of that. Some teams get a spark. Cleveland might have a shot this weekend, so I'm going to rule that Vikings-Cleveland game out. The Philadelphia-Denver game, again, Philly has just eked by and survived by the skin of their teeth on a couple different occasions to make me confident enough that Philadelphia could win against the Denver Broncos. Detroit's the heavy favorite. I mean, and they're top of the power rankings for a reason. If you've watched Cincinnati since the Joe Burrow injury, it's a shell of its former self. Cincinnati's got issues. They've got problems. There's no reason why, if I have an ace on the staff, that I don't start him for Game 5. We're not going to hold an ace up the sleeve and wait for later weeks in the Survivor, because we're down to 17 people. So we got to start playing our heavy hitters. If we saved a few, I'm on the Detroit Lions this week in their matchup.
You haven't used Detroit yet?
I have not used the Detroit Lions. I had them saved back. I am picking the Detroit Lions in their matchup with Cincinnati.
All right, so you're on the Lions. I'm not going to – I just got word that Flacco will be the number 2 quarterback.
Okay.
Just got word that Flacco will be the number 2 quarterback this week for Cleveland.
Who's your source?
Sanders will remain at number 3. Breaking news out today.
Who's your source?
Same guy.
Nice.
Same guy. He just texts back an update. All right, so you're on Detroit. I'm not gonna go with Minnesota over Cleveland. Now that we sat here and talked about it, that kind of scares me. It's across the pond, and Cleveland could be ignited with a new guy at quarterback. So I'm not gonna use that one. I've used Detroit, so I can't join you in the Detroit-Cincinnati game. I've used Buffalo, so I can't use Buffalo in their 7.5-point favored game against New England. I was also looking at San Francisco and the Rams.
Yep.
Cross that one off. I was looking at Tennessee and Arizona.
Sure.
That was my game I had yesterday, circled. Arizona's a 7.5-point favorite, but then I kind of dove in to what Arizona's been doing here lately. They've won. They've played their last 4 games that have been decided in the final minute of the game.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, I don't want to go down on Survivor with a team that has struggled to win. Yeah, their last 4 games have been decided in the final minute of their respective games. I don't want to put my mind or my body through that. So that's the game that I had circled yesterday. And decided after doing some research last night I didn't like it. My pick this week for Survivor is going to be Indianapolis. I like the Colts over the Raiders. Now, both teams lost last week. The Rams beat the Colts 27-20. Vegas, they lost to the Bears 25-24. Quarterbacks made some mistakes in this game, or in these games. The Colts threw a couple of picks. Geno Smith threw a couple of picks for the Raiders. Las Vegas is 22nd in the league in scoring defense. They're giving up 24.8 points per game, Vegas is. The Colts are number 3 as far as total offense is concerned. 397.3 yards per game.
JT, baby.
That was good enough for me to sway my meter for Survivor. Give me the Colts, lock it in. Give me the Colts, lock it in.
Heck yeah.
Week number 5 of Survivor for Extreme Sports. Give me Indy. You're on Detroit. Lock them in. Those are our picks for this week.
We're in.
Now, the rest of you folks, the other 17 folks, you've got until tomorrow at 6 to lock your picks in. But lock them in now while we're talking about it so you don't forget. Because if you forget, you're out. So,
what does number 2 work for?
Yeah, what's that mean?
That's from Austin Powers. It's Dr. Evil.
All right.
It's a doctor. He was referring to the number 2 quarterback.
Which is going to be Joe Flacco.
Who would have thought this? In the Extreme Sports Survivor, at the beginning of the season, who would have ever predicted that the Indianapolis Colts would have been used by yours truly in Week 3? I used him in Week 3. You're bringing him up in Week 5. After the season they had a year ago, who would have thought that the Colts would have been such a hot commodity in the Survivor?
You got to play them while they're hot, though.
Got to play them while they're hot.
Yep. Dennis just chimed in. He's still in the Survivor pool, and he says, I took his pick. So evidently you're going to have at least 2 of us on Indianapolis as we whittle down the Survivor pool. We start with 17 this week. You're on Detroit now. Me and Dennis, who's also in the pool yet. He's on Indy.
I'd say take them while they're hot, and I would caution you that I think Indianapolis is on their cooling phase, but I also have to take into account that the Raiders are ice cold.
Yeah, I watched a lot of that Raiders-Bears game last week.
That was ugly.
Yeah, it was not good. Raiders somehow find a way to lose games.
Is it storming?
Yeah, there's some isolated thunderstorms in the area.
I heard some thunder, yeah.
All right, let's talk some Husker football, shall we? Nebraska playing Michigan State this week. Had the coordinators up before us yesterday in Lincoln. Dana Holgerson, the offensive coordinator. Nebraska evidently number 2 in the nation in passing yards. But Dana says he wants to see a more balance in the Huskers' offensive attack.
Yeah, I do. I think Dylan's playing at a very, very, very high level, right? And so how I call plays, I call what's working. Okay, so I don't go into a game saying, man, we need to throw for 350 yards. It's all about how the flow of the game is. Okay, with that said, our running back, our running game, it needs to improve against an opponent like that, right? And so, I was happy with where the run was after the first few games, but then you play a top 20 team that's, a perennial top 20 team, and it didn't look the way it needs to look. We weren't finishing blocks, and that's not a shot at our O-line. That's a shot at our offense, because there's so many people that are involved in it, right? First play of the game, Emmett gets 14 yards, and that's the longest run that we had all day, and so we gotta do a better job of scheming things up. We gotta do a better job of sustaining blocks. That's everybody on offense, and then we gotta run harder, and I know a lot's been said about who number 2 is and all that stuff. We have options, and it's our job to get them there, and when we put them in there, it needs to look better. So if you want more running, if you want more rushes, then when I call it, it's got to look better. I'm not going to just keep calling things that aren't working for us, right? So we have a very diverse offense, and we can do a lot of different things. We can get the ball to a lot of different people. That, to me, is balance. That's balance, okay? And my job is to call the plays that are working to where we have a chance to be successful.
And what about Michigan State?
Yeah, good team, big, physical. They look like a Big Ten football team to me, and so they're big, they're physical, they do a lot of man stuff in the red zone, so that's going to be something that we're going to have to work on. Tomorrow's a big red zone day for us, and can't wait to get out there and practice it.
And the coach expects a tough game and a close game between the Huskers and Smarty.
It'll be the 5th Big Ten opponent that I've gone against, and every game has been one score. In our games, they've all been one-score games. Go back to last year when I was here, USC was a one-score game. I guess Wisconsin, we got away from them a little bit, and Iowa was a one-score game. Michigan was a one-score game. You got to go into it thinking every game is going to be a one-score game. And every game, and when you're playing games like that, every drive is important. You're going to get about 10 to 12 drives, so you better take advantage of every one of them.
And that's Nebraska's offensive coordinator, Dana Holgerson. The defensive coordinator, John Butler, also was before us yesterday. And he says the coaches on the defensive side of the ball took advantage of the bye week.
We have 2 of them, and I think they're very useful just to really study yourself. Study, when we talk about that, study your personnel. Are we playing the right guys? Are they in the right position? Evaluate their performance based on their tackling, their coverage, win percentage, their ability to get off blocks. Heavily evaluate our schemes, what we're calling in certain situations, whether it be by down and distance or by certain personnel groups. So yeah, you spend that entire time reflecting really not only just on the season, but we had like an 8 to 9 week period through training camp, through our first 4 ball games, where you're trying to assess your players, your schemes, and how we best should move forward. So that's essentially all you do.
And Coach Butler says his defensive unit is trying to prevent the big play.
Well, the big plays are happening when? In the run game. They're only happening in the run game. So it's very specific. It's not like they're running the ball for 50 yards and throwing the ball for 50 yards. So I think we have a good plan in terms of what we're doing when we think they're going to throw the ball. So we've got to solve the obvious, which is not just the run defense, but the explosive plays that we're giving up in the run defense. And really it comes down to guys being in their gaps, guys having the ability to get off blocks. Credit to the other team. I think I said this to you guys in the past, like I have to evaluate, can they block us? Can we tackle them? And I think through really the Cincinnati game and the Michigan game, because they're the two obviously comparable opponents in terms of talent similar to ours or better, you have to be able to evaluate. And right now we're getting blocked too much and we're not tackling them well enough. And we have to practice that. We have to emphasize that. At times maybe, we got to put more guys in the box, which then, as you know, when it's 11 on 11 and the quarterback's running the ball, the more you put in the box, the more you make yourself susceptible to throws down the field. But we obviously have to address that because that's the elephant in the room. That's Captain Obvious can figure out that we're giving up too many explosive runs.
Also talked about Michigan State quarterback in Aiden Childs.
I think he's a great athlete. He can throw in the pocket. He can throw on the move. He can run design. They have the quarterback draws that we've seen, out of Cincinnati and that we've seen out of Michigan. They have the same exact structure that we've seen. And then they run him a lot in the red zone. And then he takes off a lot just in scrambles. He's very difficult to tackle. You can see he's got strong lower body. And you can see he's a very, very, very good competitor, which, that's really what it comes down to in these games is the competitors stand out, the ones that aren't on your team, the ones that are on our team. And you can see that, much like Sorsby, when you see how well he's competed even after our game, those guys that have it in them and in their heart and they're going to do whatever it takes to win, those are the types of guys you have to make sure you're defending.
And we told you earlier, defensively, Nebraska is limiting opponents to a nation-leading 75.8 yards passing per game and just a 50.6 completion percentage. So the coach says, obviously, he's happy with the Huskers' pass defense.
I think we have guys that can challenge routes. I think, you're not going to be a very good pass defense if you live in the zone coverage world. You'll probably get a couple more interceptions and maybe a couple more plays on the ball. But you have to be either a man coverage or a match coverage team. You have to be able to challenge routes with what you're doing systematically. Make the quarterback, make it hard for him to throw into tighter windows, which we've been doing both against the tight ends, against the backs in the screen game, and then against the wide receivers outside. Now those challenges are going to continue to present themselves as, we feel like that Michigan State's got some really good wideouts that have had some production in their career and a quarterback that can throw it. So I think this will be one of our biggest challenges in that regard. But I think it's just the mindset and the mentality of those players. They're not afraid to contest and challenge, and that's what you have to do. You have to make completions hard.
So there you have it. The defensive coordinator, John Butler, also heard from Nebraska offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson as the Huskers prepare for Saturday's game against Michigan State. See the line for the ball game inched up a little bit yesterday. Nebraska now favored by 11.5 over Sparty at home.
Mm-hmm. Told you.
Yeah, you said if you wanted to bet Nebraska to get him early because you thought the point spread might inch up a little bit, and it did overnight. So we're sitting at 11.5 over Sparty for Saturday, 3 o'clock starting time on FS1.
I'm glad that I can accurately predict how the lines are going to move in Vegas. But when it comes to actually picking the games, I still stink.
Yeah, our Blazing 5 was anything but blazing from Friday. Did we determine that we're back to the frozen 5 for this week?
We're frozen
this week. God, we suck.
Shane sunk us.
Yeah, we'll blame it on the IT guy. Shane sunk us.
Well,
We're going to the frozen 5 this week.
He's third in the standings, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's hanging right with us.
The door's been opened and none of us have gone through it.
No, we've ample opportunity to blow through and take the lead in this game. I was going to pull up our picks, but they're getting ready for this week already.
Right. Yep.
I think you still got a 1-game lead over me.
I think the gap's closing.
And then I'm 1 game ahead of Shaner for third. So between first and third, it's like 2 games. Season is still young. Yeah, none of us have really blown through the door. We've had ample opportunities to take the lead. Didn't you have 1 5-0 week?
Yeah, I mean, my Blazing 5 game has been like my golf game, right? Like I went 5-0, which is the equivalent to ripping a tee shot 320 yards down the fairway.
Or shooting a 63 or a 64.
Right. I mean, I'm sitting smack dab in the middle of the fairway, and then my next shot, I'm getting up for next week, and I top it, and it rolls 2 feet in front of my feet. Like, that's my golf game, in a nutshell.
That's your prognostication game, too.
It is also on the pick'ems. Except for Survivor, where we're still hanging tight somehow, some way.
I'm survived it. I'm surprised that we're still hanging in there at Survivor.
Oh, I'm pinching myself every week. I thought I was going to be a one and done ski. Especially when you lead off with Jacksonville. I mean, like, there's confidence.
Your confidence rating has to be pretty high this with Detroit. My confidence rating with Indy, maybe 50-50.
The NFL is to have, like, total confidence because on any given day they can just lay an egg.
Well, Detroit last week.
Yeah.
Detroit last week was in a tussle.
The Buffalo, the first 3 years, that Saints. They're playing the Saints.
Yeah, Saints.
And it took them till 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter to finally, like, oh, let's go ahead and win the game now. And it was like, I was on pins and needles for a little bit because if I lose, it was half expected. But if I lose with the Bills, my favorite team, I knew the shit you were going to talk.
Oh,
God.
We'd totally be talking about that.
Oh, yeah. It would have been a sore subject, my man.
All right, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports at 7:56.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We go to Congress, where both Republican and Democratic proposals that would have funded the government passed yesterday failed in the Senate during the 11th hour, effectively shutting down the government at 12:01 this morning. The House stopgap funding measure failed to pass the Senate because Democrats would not back it without health care provisions. Governor Jim Pillen put out a statement saying, quote, "Obstructionist liberals in Congress can't keep playing politics with our nation's funding. I'm proud to join Republican governors from across the nation to support President Trump and congressional leaders calling on Democrats to fulfill their duties and do what's best for the country. Keep the government open with a clean, short-term funding extension. It's critical to the security and stability of our nation to get this done." End quote. Now, both sides of the political spectrum have warned that the shutdown would disrupt state services, threaten public safety, and hurt public confidence in the government. The Senate is expected to vote again today, however, likely on the same 2 measures that failed yesterday. 7:57, 3 minutes until 8 o'clock. We'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, high school softball yesterday. Hastings High beat Kearney 11-8. The Tigers now 20-7 in the season. They'll play host to Waverly on Thursday. Adams Central defeated McCook 6-4. Patriots are now 9-16. They'll play in the Central Conference Tournament on Thursday. In volleyball from yesterday, Waverly beat Hastings High in 3 straight games. Adams Central and Northwest had a dandy last night. Northwest winning in 5 games, and St. Cecilia played in their St. Cecilia tournament and went 3-0. Postseason got underway yesterday in Major League Baseball. In the opening games of the American League Wild Card Series, Detroit got by Cleveland 2-1, and Boston defeated the New York Yankees 3-1. In the National League, Chicago edged San Diego 3-1, and Los Angeles defeated Cincinnati 10-5. The best-of-3 series will continue today. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:58.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
There's a few showers and thunderstorms moving through the area this morning on Wednesday. No severe weather is expected. Other than that, though, we should clear out and become sunny to mostly sunny by late morning to afternoon, a high of 82 degrees, and southerly winds 10 to 15, gusting to 20 miles per hour. 59's overnight low tonight with mostly clear skies. Thursday, plenty of sunshine, a high in the mid-80s. Friday, upper 80s with plenty of sunshine. Then we become breezy by the weekend and changes on the way.
Right now, as you wake up, get going, we've got some isolated thunderstorms in the area. South winds at 8 miles per hour. It is cloudy, 60 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Have you checked the time lately? Good chance a Maletta Vista Winery is open. Hey, this is Mick with an update on our new hours. Tuesday through Sunday, we're open 11:30 to 3, and Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 till 9. Not sure what you want to enjoy when you get here? Well, Maletta Vista features award-winning wine, select beer, spirits, world-class foods, breathtaking views, and live entertainment. Visit MalettaVistaWinery.com. Check out our events page for music schedules and more. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Make your reservations now at Maletta Vista Winery, located on Highway 281, just north of St. Paul.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
All right, Mike Wills, Science and Veronica with you on this Wednesday morning, the first day of October for 2025. So, like we said, mentioned the Major League Baseball playoffs going into game number 2 today. Do you see any series going the other way today? Or the winners from yesterday pretty well set for winning series today?
I could easily. I think Cleveland and Detroit's going to be another pitcher's duel, another 2-1, 3-1 ball game. I could see Cleveland winning that game easily. They're the home team. They should be favored today with BB going on the bump with Casey Mize, a first-round draft pick from a few years ago for Detroit. So I could see Cleveland knotting up the series. San Diego, I'm not convinced in the Cubs rollout. Their kind of game plan is going to be start a guy, but we're going to have the entire bullpen at the ready. Their pitching rotation kind of set up a little bit differently for this 3-game series. Kittredge starting, I have my doubts. The bats could come hot for San Diego today. I could see San Diego knotting up that series at 1 game apiece. Who knows what you're going to get with Carlos Rondon. He's either on, and when he's on, he's brilliant. When he's off his rocker, it could be a 7-run Boston first inning. I'm going to say postseason Carlos Rondon comes out, and New York evens that baby up. I do not see the Cincinnati Reds knocking off the LA Dodgers. Dodgers are a sweep, but I could see all 3 of those early games going the distance and pushing their way into Thursday.
All right, so that's what's going on with Major League Baseball. Again, a big day, an entire day of baseball action again, if you want to follow the postseason in Major League Baseball. If you'd like to listen to the show again, you can go to our podcast section in one of our social media sites, download the podcast, listen to our show again. We had our Survivor picks at 7:30. You heard from Nebraska offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson. You heard from Nebraska defensive coordinator John Butler as they get ready to play Michigan State coming up this week. So if you'd like to listen to those comments again, or Survivor picks, download the show and listen to it throughout the day today. Make plans to be here again tomorrow morning at 7. Anything else we need to bring up here before we sneak out of here?
How long does harvest go on for?
It's just getting started.
Like, when are they going to wrap up? Because my allergies cannot take it anymore.
Oh, it's just starting.
There is so much crop dust in the air. Oh man, I am a piece of work this morning.
You sound a little sniffly today.
It's all allergy.
You sound sniffly and
I need
a cough.
I need a good hard. No, it's just more sniffly. That was just a cough because, no, it's all in the sinuses right now.
All in the nasal passages.
Could get a good hard freeze and knock some of this dust out of the air. That would be ideal. Plus, it would get rid of these damn bugs. Because now it's not even the mosquitoes. Now it's these little black pirate bugs. I call them.
What are those things?
They come around every year at this time, harvest time. They come out of the crops and just
they're miserable.
They're annoying as hell, aren't they? And here's the kicker: like, you can't have porch beers or garage beers because they really they're attracted to sweet, so they love beer. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to go inside with your buddies.
Have to go inside.
Take them inside the Hevronic Hacienda.
The amount of times, like, so we have the patio area out at First Street, right?
Yeah.
And when they come back in, like, I'm cleaning 3 or 4 of those black bugs out of their beers because.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
That's gross.
Like, that's what you get for getting outside before the hard freeze. Too many damn bugs.
Yeah, the hard freeze is weeks away. Harvest ending is weeks away, so you'll have to just put up with that crap.
Have to be miserable for a couple weeks. That's great.
Yep. Yeah, it's all right. Well, we'll get out of here. Enjoy your day. We'll do it again tomorrow morning at 7 here on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme